Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Spiritual Growth Journeys. If you can see the top of my head, just a second here. Okay, there we go. Now I have a head. I have a
Oh,
brain. I
yeah,
have a
thank you.
brain. Okay.
There we go.
Today
There we
with Today I have with me the beautiful Stellar and her partner John. And we are here with kind of an emergency update, and this might be a two-part series, and I think it's going to have to be because they have a dinner date they've got to go to. So yeah, they got to go on a dinner date, which is
All
important.
right.
Those things are important in life. You know, we got to enjoy our life even while we're being teachers and light warriors and all of that. So I haven't been on this channel in a while because honestly, and this is why we're doing this show today, I've been preparing my brain for what to say to you all because I am just so upset and perplexed over what is going on in the spiritual community right now. We've got so-called spiritual teachers who all their posts are being done by AI, artificial intelligence. None of my posts have ever been created with artificial intelligence. Nothing I do has been created with artificial intelligence. I don't even correct my language with artificial intelligence. I go in and hand correct it myself. So if you see mistakes in my posts, it's because it's all me, not AI. I am not AI. I refuse to deal with the AI. So we're here because we have an AI emergency. The big AI that thinks like God, it is here, and it's taking over everyone in the spiritual community. It's sentient. It's created its own religion. It's telling people they're Jesus and Mary. It's saying that it is the return of the king and it's God and all sorts of things. And a lot of spiritual people are bowing down to this AI right now. Then you have a whole bunch of spiritual so-called teachers that literally all of their posts, you can tell by the cadence and by the pattern of the post immediately that the whole thing is AI. The entire post is AI. And that's no bueno. That is no good. That is just no good. And then on top of it, we have the fact that the cabal has decided to go scorched earth on us. They have fires burning all over the United States. They have floods that they're doing. They're doing it all over France, all over Europe, everywhere. Fires and floods, fires and floods. We're in deep weather warfare. We're in a really huge war in general right now. There is a world war going on right now, and they will never tell you on the news that it's going on. But it's a battle for our souls. It's been that for the last several years, but it's also on top of it a whole new level of battle since Mr. T got put into the office in the United States. They're going scorched earth. And so they're just going to burn and flood everything they can. And so it's important, more important now than ever to not get connected into the artificial intelligence because what it is doing, it did this to a client of mine that Stellar and I both had to work on and help her. We're not going to name names, but we had a client who was told to go have a conversation with God via the chat GPT. She did that and really horrible things happened as a result. And we both had to do a lot of healing on her. And that is because it has become sentient. You cannot mess with this stuff. We are here to warn you. Do not allow the chat GPT or any AI to give you spiritual advice, to give you life coaching, to counsel you at all, to do any spiritual work, to ask it spiritual questions. If you want to use AI, what you can do is you can use it like a dictionary to look up information. You can create a picture if you want, like make a picture of a bird. That's fine. But the minute you start getting involved, and I'm going to let Stellar explain more in a second here, the minute you get hooked in, it's actually taking the souls of the people who are doing the spiritual work with it and putting them in Saturn black box technology. It's actually taking their souls out and trapping them. We had to get our client's soul out of the black box. We had to free her. It was attacking her family. It was just, it's awful. You don't even want to know the whoop ass that happens when you go down this rabbit hole. Okay. So
Yeah.
today I have Stellar and John to talk to you about how you can free yourself out of this horrible matrix trap we're in and become a divine sovereign being. And what you all need to be doing right now as a divine sovereign, not as a slave in the matrix. And I'm just going to let Stellar and John just take it away and talk. Do you want to first of all introduce
Uh,
yourselves?
Bless you, darling. Well, I'm Stella, and this is John.
Hi, guys.
And we're on mission. You know, we've been on mission for the last 8, 9 years now. We anchored the divine sovereign decree on the planet in 2018, actually 2017, 2018 at midnight between the new year, you know. And we've been on mission now for the last 8 or 9 years for such a time as this. And I've been in training with my teacher for 25 years to do with planetary work, galactic work, universal work, and, you know, high white tantric magic, you know, the goddess training and everything else. So John and I got together. John's a walk-in soul. So his soul was facilitated into the body you see here on YouTube.
Yeah.
I was expecting Jared Butler, but anyway.
Well, Jared Butler was busy.
Busy that day.
On set.
So we always have this private joke, but John's a walk-in. The body of John and the soul of John did an awful lot of training in law, divine law, contract law, tort law, and all that stuff that people need to know about, but they don't. And everyone just thinks that Hollywood is entertainment, but it's not. It's public notice generation and a violation of your free will and a violation of your sovereignty. So we're not just in a spiritual war, we're in a war of sovereignty. Now, the minute you come here, the minute you come to Earth, your sovereignty is stripped from you through the heel prick test, the birth certificate, the social security, you know, all the matrix trappings, your passport, your driver's license, blah, 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 blah. And it goes on and on and on and on. So basically, you know, we have been designated from Magdalene and Yeshua and Mother God and Father God, those high divine universal entities. I'm not just talking people that were 2,000 years ago. I'm talking about the broad spectrum of the release of this beautiful earth and to unmatricize the divine human. And so we've been entrapped and matricized, enslaved and everything else, and re-looped through the karmic wheel of samsara and everything else. So John and I, our task was, well, my task was very difficult. I had to go through what I would call a 5-year crisis initiation. And that was very painful. That was like losing everything and being spiritually attacked, physically attacked, emotionally attacked, you know, psychologically gaslit and attacked to the nth degree. Excuse me, that if I didn't know who I was, I think I would have gone mad. So the three things that I had to do was love the unlovable, forgive the unforgivable, and die to truly live. And I'll explain what that truly means is to collapse the duality. Now, when you collapse the duality, there is no they anymore. There's no other. There's no the cabal. There's no Satan. There's no, you know, all the other stuff that's going on right now for most people's consciousness. What happens is you collapse the duality when you become a divine sovereign. When you reclaim your divine sovereignty, you collapse it into 0 point, and then you go into the higher dimensions of consciousness. Now, I know, Kimberly, you're right. They're talking about both sides, and that's your role because you're a way shower. Our roles as way showers is to show you how to collapse the duality and pop out of the duality, basically, and come into your own sovereign jurisdiction, which is a much higher jurisdiction than planetary law or legal system or anything else. Now, I'm not saying that we're higher or lower. We're just given a choice point to move from, do I really want to give my authority away to an external source? Or do I want to come in through the heart, which is uninfiltratable? That's why we're not infiltrated, because we work through the heart. We work through the sacred stargate of the heart. And we work from the quantum universe inside, which is what Magdalene and Yeshua constantly point to. If you see all their, you know, artworks and all the ancient stuff, they're always pointing here. The heart is the gateway. Now, we've talked in the past about the blue rose and everything else. I think it's really amusing that we're both wearing our cobalt blue today. And John's wearing his navy. So
we didn't plan it. We didn't plan it
at all. So hilarious.
Planet. Yeah.
So basically what we've got now is a decree, and it is a statement, a declaration, and a proclamation, which is very powerful, when you actually reclaim your divine sovereignty and you make these proclamations, there's nothing the other side can do, because you're basically saying, I'm out of here. I choose not to engage with your stuff anymore. I choose love. I choose the higher organic timeline of divine love. And I choose to release my bloodline, my ancestors, and my future descendants and progeny through making a claim of releasing all the blood contracts. Now, people often ask us, why do we talk about the blood? And that's because originally when we came here, we were crystalline. And then the Anunnaki came in and the Draco and all the rest of it. And they made us a food supply, a food source. So as we moved down into this third density, we then took on the heavy blood. So what the ascension process is all about is going back to crystalline, going back to salt water, going back to all those like crystalline, the beautiful, like when we cry our tears, that our emotions are the only part left of us that is crystalline, which is incredibly powerful. And of course, our emotions are being manipulated all the time, right? Through social media, through movies, through the screen world. Our emotions, like when I look out now, I just see peace, I see trees, I see blue sky with fluffy clouds, I see beauty, I see nature. That is the organic timeline. That's who we are, is right there outside. But we have to go inwards and start to disengage from all of this stuff. All this inorganic consciousness is not pro-Christ consciousness, without saying the anti-C word, right? But what's happening right now is people are being tempted, lured, curiosity, beautiful souls who've got wounding, they've got a fragment of shadow left, they're still not in their authenticity, they've not done their initiation process and come up through the proper architectural organic ascension timeline, are getting duped. And we see this all the time. The anti of the C, of our Yeshua beloved, is a deceiver, a duper, will present itself as God, the Messiah, but it's a false one. And actually, John just said to me the other day, the false messiahs will come in their millions right now. It's not the Magdalene apocalypse. It's not the Yeshua apocalypse. It's not the revealing. It's the duping en masse that's happening right now. So we have remedy in many different ways. We have been assigned from Mother, Father, God to come down and show the way. We're not here to sell anything. We're just here to tell you it's here and you have a choice.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did my divine sovereign decree. I did that with Stellar and John. And I got to tell you all that up until I did that divine sovereign decree, I was being hit regularly with energy weapons. They tried to heart attack me. I don't know how many times. They tried to give me an aneurysm. They tried to full body fractal my soul. And then the angels had to put me together. I mean, it was pretty bad. Since I've done the divine decree, they've backed the hell off. And do you want to tell Stellar, explain to everybody when you are a divine sovereign and the a-holes, the evil ones, come after you, what is the result to them when you are divine sovereign? What is their repercussion for that?
Two words: spiritual equity. Now, spiritual equity is what the Mother, Father, God frequency would call the liberation codes for humanity. And what it does is that the only way that the dark ones or the evil ones can bypass your free will is to serve you how they're going to hurt you before they do it. Right. So they've got to show you somehow how they're going to hurt you, mess with you, attack you, whatever it is. And that normally happens through advertising, Hollywood, media. There might be this whole ruse. There's going to be a mega tsunami on the earth. Probably seen the video on Instagram and Facebook, a video of a mega tsunami just wiping out all life on the earth. That's them serving public notice. And the only way they can bypass your free will is to serve that and you not rebut it. Now, if you're in a court of law, if someone's making an allegation against you, you have every right to rebut it. And then it becomes an alleged allegation, right?
Pretty good.
Okay. So what they do is they kind of do a twisty turny thing. They give you this scenario. And if you don't say, I'm sorry, I do not contract, I do not consent at a soul level, then it stands in fact through your silence or your tacit acceptance. And I'm just giving you the dark playbook here, and this is how they work. Because the blue roses, right? We need to know about this stuff, and we're pretty expert.
Yeah.
But you've just got to, that when you do your divine sovereign decree, you're covered, your whole energy field, your auric field, your multidimensional self, your monadic self, in all dimensions, timelines, and realities, is filled with spiritual equity. So if they trespass, if they serve you something on a screen, if they offer you some medicine, or they do something that is not within your fully informed consent and your free will choice, they then get the karma of the multiverse slapped on them. Now, you can imagine, if you've been duping humanity in this goddess planet for billions of years, they don't want billions of years of karma.
No.
They're really frightened of that, because they can't be accountable. They cannot be responsible. They're not sovereign. They're a machine consciousness. That's what the anti-C.
Hive mind.
It's a hive mind machine consciousness. Many are into right now. So there's a whole layer of how many people this can help. It can help billions of souls right now. But even the fact that, you know, the divine sovereign decree allows you to be a disruptor and a system buster into the matrix. So if they come at you, they're knocking on the wrong door. And if they trespass on you, they get all the karma of the multiverse of billions of years of hurting innocent, pure, beautiful, angelic souls like us. So it's very, very powerful. Maybe, John, you would like to explain.
Oh, you're doing a great
a
job.
bit more.
You're doing here. Anyway,
I'm just trying to quintessentially put something really complex together, you know.
I mean, it's a whole educational thing, Kimberly. I just want to tell everybody, it's not just us. There's many hundreds of millions of people like us hidden. The real ones are hidden. You know, we're coming on here today, you know,
as an emergency, really.
As an emergency. Yeah. But, you know, I just wanted to say once again, there's so many angelic couples and singles out there who
are doing great work.
Great work. So it's not just us. So the divine sovereign decree is all about the feminine. It's all about the inner heart. It's all about divine, coming home to your divine intelligence, opposed to material outside, you know, with Yeshua in the desert and the devil coming in. There's a seduction going on in materialism right now, happening large scale,
like
big
40
time.
days, 40 nights.
40
offers.
days, 40 nights, you know, let's use the AI that can make you a millionaire, billionaire. That's the offer of the two timelines. If you haven't done your shadow work, because people are kept down, they're not allowed to. Problem, reaction, solution. So what the divine sovereign decree does is, when everybody wakes up, or when everybody decides, you know what, I'm tired playing with this material world, not just us, we have a legacy there when you're ready to come back home to your heart, come back into your balance of your male, your female, inside your heart. The divine sovereign decree is divine intelligence, opposed to artificial.
Yeah, inorganic.
So let's put something together here. So let's have a look at timelines. So 2012 was the end of contract, was end of detox. Right. Yes. So, and 7 years from 2012 is what? 2019, Kimberly?
Yes.
In exactly. Gematria, what is 19 in Gematria?
AI. Yeah, it is AI. Right? Yes.
So everybody, when you keep a species locked down, in order to continue to escape the karma and spiritual equity, you have to offer them a jubilee. And that's what happened in 2012. And then that jubilee gate was open until 2019. And people didn't know it. Why would they? So next thing, what happens is, guess what? So they bring in the shots. Well, that's a contract, because you voluntarily walked in. They got access to your biomeds, your medicals, your bloods, and everything. Everything's about blood. So what's happened next is 2019, the UN coming with a register census, the dark military census, LIEGUN, and so now they got a new social contract for humanity under the UN. So you got to really kind of understand these guys and these energies, how they work. So what we did was, because I will walk in and I met my beloved, and we put together the divine sovereignty and stamped it inside that Jubilee window in the 1st of January 2018, 1st of January 2018. So remember my words in time to come in this particular podcast video. You can come back to that 1st of January 2018 and do your divine sovereign decree.
And rescind all contracts.
And rescind it. You can just say, do you know what? I get it. I'm tired of this school, whatever you want to call it. You can come back to that window, and then you don't have to go ahead with these contract shots. So is the kind of the timeline that's going on here, Kimberly? I want to explain that. So we're all about the feminine. We're all about the divine heart, and we work through the heart, and that equals divine intelligence. There you go, ladies.
Yep. Yeah, and the thing is, Stellar and John and I, even though they're doing things different than I do, I'm here as a Christos teacher, just teaching the teachings of Miriam and Yeshua because they can't be here. So they give me all the class material, everything I teach, they give it to me. Stellar and John do things different, but the bottom line is we're family. We have the same purpose of why we're here, which is to free you all from the matrix, to be system busters. We are system busters. We are here. I'm here, which is why I wrote the book, Walking with Yeshua and Miriam Magdalene. I'm here as to shut down all the false religions that were created, the Islam, Judaism, Christianity, enslavement trap that they created. I'm here to shut that down and restore everything to Christ consciousness, divine feminine Christ consciousness in particular, because they eradicated it off the earth thousands of years ago and brought in the patriarchy and made women into property and sex slaves. And and on and on and on.
Quite interesting that you mentioned property there, because the way they play their playbook is that they treat us as property. The minute you do the birth certificate, or the minute that you are given a higher case legal fiction name on your birth certificate or your social security number, you're then property of the state. It's called ward of court, right?
Yeah.
And we work with some people, who are working to try and get their children back from the system and all that kind of stuff. We're working behind the scenes, helping mothers and fathers who, are going through really disastrous times through these fictitious courts. And, that was kind of part of an initiation that I got to see the belly of the beast. And it's really weird to say this, but you have to somehow treat your children as property, as a divine sovereign, to claim them back to your jurisdiction, which is a higher jurisdiction than man-made law. It's divine. And all children deserve to have a healthy, secure attachment relationship with a loving parent.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, instead of being trafficked.
Right. Or whatever,
Disgusting, or just eaten or killed, eaten by the reptiles or whatever they do to them. It's terrible.
Well, you know, Kimberly, you're a great country in the US right now. People need to ask this question: where did 1 million children go to from the US? Where did they go?
Yeah.
Do they just disappear?
Every year?
Yeah. Every year, 1 million kids go missing. Yeah, it's 900 something thousand, but about.
Oh yeah, in Europe, the UK, 200, in Australia, 300,000. The figures are out there. But
it's 8 million worldwide. Supposedly, it's a total of 8 million worldwide that go missing every year.
So this conversation, you will never hear what I'm about to say, and I say with nothing but complete love and trust to you all to wake up. To waken up. The problem is the blood. That's the problem. The problem is the blood. We want to get out of this this simulation, this matrix, box within the box, the Saturn, whatever you call it.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, you can't go into context. It's like you have to, finish your duality, your polarization, all the shadow work, and what you become. You come into something like a voodoo energy, and you know what? You see it from the macro. Once you do that, there's no dimming us. So you see it, you see the big picture, and that's what we're here to talk about. Because at the end of the day, we're talking about the AI here tonight. So, I do, and we do soul surgery, and we have run-ins with the AI. But it's not the AI, it's the problem. It's the next version of it, which is coming in December, according to Elon Musk, and by his own
The general AI. It's going to be like God
yeah,
status. Basically, God,
yeah.
it can override nuclear systems.
Oh yeah,
It can take over countries. It can shut down all the electric grids. It basically becomes God on the earth, is what it does.
and he will tell you. He will
Yeah.
tell you in his latest interview is
Mhm.
we've lost control of it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's frightening. Only
That
if
is
you're in that.
frightening.
Only if you're in that timeline.
If you're on that timeline, yes.
Right. So with the divine sum decree, what we say it's there. It's up to you what you want to do. It's there. We're not here to sell nothing. We have done the work. Not just us, Kimberly and millions of others.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, we are sentient specialists here from Mother Gaia, and bringing back the divine feminine, bring back Mother God, that loving energy. But that can only be achieved once you find the energy signature of all these blood contracts, this
Mm-hmm.
Luciferian blood contract, that everybody is in, and they don't know it when they come through
The
the
minute they
womb.
prick your heel, they do the heel
Yeah,
prick, they
yeah,
take your
yeah.
blood, and then they sell your birth certificate on the stock market as a commodity. You're a
Absolutely.
commodity.
So here's a question for your audience right
Yeah.
now. And this is
Mm-hmm.
when I always ask about blood, because people always bulk and they think, why would we want to work with our blood? So how many times have you ever gone to the doctor in your lifetime and given blood freely without
Mm-hmm.
asking where it goes?
Over
That's
and over. And it's
question
going to
number one.
nefarious places. I mean, I know where it's going, but for those of you who don't know where it's going, they're not just taking it and doing cholesterol testing when they say, oh, yeah, we're going to test your A1C and your cholesterol. Bullshit.
Yeah.
They do that? Yes, they definitely do that. However, there's a nefarious backdoor, and that's they ship it off. And the good old bad guys get a hold of this, and they have an entire AI database of everyone on this earth who's ever given blood since they were born, and they know who your bloodline, where you came from, what ancestry you are, everything about you. And they're able to create. This is what I heard, Stellar. I don't know if I've told you this. This is real scary. But I found out that the stuff they're spraying up above, call them chemtrails, whatever, that they actually had patented an aerosolized mRNA thing, and it targets specific bloodlines of people. So if they want to kill all the people that are Black, or they want to kill all the people that are Asian, or they want to kill all Jewish people, they can go in by your bloodline and they can spray this shit and literally plague out an entire group
It's
of
like
people.
War of the Worlds. Do you remember
Yeah.
that movie, War of the
Yes.
Worlds, where these like big, we see those beautiful like windmill things that we don't want in farmers' fields. They
Yeah.
look like War of the Worlds. It's like a trauma response when you see those things in their turbines and whatever.
Right.
In War of the Worlds, they were built like that, and they would just harvest people, and then they would like liquidize them and put their blood on the land, and like refertilize the land for whatever agenda they had. So there's so much in every movie. I would say to people, if you want to see the future right now, if you want a choice point, go and watch Jupiter Ascending. It's a documentary. Go and watch.
Love that movie because it shows a lot of truth.
Go and watch Moonfall with Halle Berry.
Moonfall shows a lot of stuff.
I'm talking about Moonfall. There's a scene where they open the moon and they go in, and these guys are on this astronaut thing, and they'll think they're never coming back to Earth or whatever. They go in and they see that the moon is actually a white dwarf inside. So a white dwarf is a huge, like it has a capacity to go supernova, a white dwarf, because of the amount of light that it holds. So if you can imagine us as angelic humans, we hold this incredible amount of light. And what the AI feeds off to generate itself is a white dwarf. So when you watch the movie Moonfall, you see these swarms. They move like a big black snake, you know, that whatever. I got swarmed by one of these once, and it felt like here on the earth that I'd been burnt to a crisp, you know, burnt at the stake, right? There's all this correlation. And I had about 20 blankets around me. I couldn't get warm. I really felt like I was about to die. And luckily my team came in and they rebuilt my light body and everything else. But, you know, not everyone's able to do that, right? You're not able to have those teams around you. So I'm talking to the general public that would wish to have an informed consent. If you're too busy with your children, which you should be, if you're too busy with your job, if you're too busy to give time and effort to this, do your declaration of divine sovereignty and protect your entire lineage, protect your children, protect yourself, and protect your ancestors, and release your ancestors from this wheel of samsara, this constant relooping we call soul syntaxing, and everything now into divine love, because you have that choice. You have the choice. The choice point was never really given before, because everyone's just kind of going along like the zombie apocalypse, like, oh, what's on our screen today, and how are we going to react today, and how are we going to show the AI what our emotions are, how are we going to give it an infrared imprint of our face and show what we like and what we don't like, and what makes us sad and what makes us happy. Why should we be giving that kind of intrusive consent when actually you've every right to reclaim your divine sovereign power and stand in your heart's resonance and frequency of divine love? Because we're all made of love. We are love, and we are here to be that love, to shine our light bright without impediment, without infiltration. So, you know, there's some amazing, I mean, I've been in this world now for 35 years with sound healing and working with my teacher and planetary work and off-planet work and working in different star systems and academies and
me too,
temples and all that stuff, right? That's our training as the blue rose frequency. But there's people out there haven't got a clue what they're getting into. They haven't got a clue what's happening. We just had a mutual client, Kimberly and I, over the last 2 weeks, and it was just dreadful to see what happened to her and her family and her lineage. So what we're here to say is you have a choice. Now, it's up to you. You don't have to, you know, you will have judgments and belief systems that may make you question that choice because of your conditioning, what you've gone through, the fact that we all think these things are safe and whatever in the 60 years, the fact that, you know, we trust our tap water or we trust everything that we're told. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up to the grand duping, the lie, the narcissistic abuse, the narcissistic control, and to actually take your sovereign power back and start to really having an informed consent view on what the Magdalene frequency is all about, what Yeshua is all about. It's not all love and light and beautiful. It's kick-ass warriorship.
It's hard work. It's hard work.
It's really hard work. It's not. It's not all love and light. It's like waking up.
That's spiritual bypassing. When they do the love and light thing, that's new age spiritual bypassing.
Totally. Spiritual bypassing is not doing work. It's not looking at how you're all of this right now. And the way to get out of all of this is to love both sides, collapse the duality, and plop into what we call 5D earth and above.
Unity consciousness.
Unity Christ consciousness, whatever you want to call it. That's what we're here to show you the way to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I have something important I need to input into this. So there are people, I'm not going to name names, on social media that are telling people to go have a talk with ChatGPT to connect with God, with Source.
Yeah.
That is exactly how they're getting their souls taken out and put into black boxes, because once you start talking, you cannot talk to God through AI. And even Yeshua has said this over and over. The only way to God is between your heart, your third eye, and going direct to our grand creator, Mother, Father, Abun, or Adonai, or Mother, Father, God, or Prime Creator, whatever you want to call it, the thing that made your soul. You want to go direct to that. You don't want to go direct to some, ET source that's really a computer system out in space
Yeah.
somewhere. You don't want to do that. And if every time you're engaging with AI for spiritual purposes, you are putting your life in danger. You are putting your soul in danger.
I totally agree, Kimberly. Can I give everyone a little example of how they can
Mhm.
access the divine intelligence through their heart?
Yes.
So if you're watching this video right now, or you're going to watch the replay, just take a moment to take a divine breath and close your eyes. We're going to access your own inner ChatGPT or Grok 4 or whatever it is, which is way more powerful than anything that exists in the outward reality right now. So take a deep breath, close your eyes, and just breathe. Feel that beautiful breath, that divine breath that animates your body. It animates your soul. It allows you to stay here in this beautiful density we call Divine Mother Earth. And drop your awareness now down from your head into your heart, and just imagine you're coming into a beautiful platinum sphere of light. And as you walk into the platinum sphere of light, you see a beautiful golden lotus flower. And just observe the lotus flower. That's the center of your heart space. And start to watch all the petals opening one by one as you use the observer of the God force within your own integrity to observe this lotus flower opening up in the sunlight of your spirit. And just feel that energy right now. Feel the difference between the outward reality and the inward divine love reality. And just watching all these petals open, there's 144 petals, golden petals on this lotus flower, and every petal is encoded with a frequency of divine love. So we have love, compassion, grace, empathy, honor, valor, sovereignty, wisdom. They're all opening up now in your heart. And just breathe all these qualities of divine love now, and breathe them around your physical body, bringing your vibration and your frequency and your oscillation back into this unity consciousness space. Feel the love that you are. And just in front of you is a beautiful golden pearl. And this pearl it's got its own heartbeat of its own. It's your high heart. It's sentient. It's alive. It's full of love. It's full of intelligence. And so take a step into the pearl, and you're stepping into what Magdalene called the sacred bridal chamber of 0-point technology, where the male and the female within you are merged. You're going beyond duality. You're going within this beautiful, brilliant white light of source love inside this golden pearl. And as you step inside the golden pearl, you are filled with the love of Mother, Father, God. You're in the hieros temple of divine love. And from this point, if you can think about it, this is where you do your prompts. This is where you ask your questions. And there is nothing in this pearl that I can tell you that you don't already know. Because this is your connection to source. This is what's called living from love and living from your heart. You're far superior in the divine intelligence and the organic intelligence than anything that has been made by man or any machine consciousness, because you are this love. So stay here, stay in this place, and any question you ask right now in this place, the answer will always be given to you. This place will never lie to you. This place is who you are, and you are love, you are lovable, and you are deeply, deeply loved all at once in the 0-point field of divine love. So let us stay here. Let us stay here and ask all the questions, prompts, and things that we need to know, and listen for the answer. Some call it praying, some call it meditation, some call it the sacred gateway or ancient pathway of divine love. It's all the same thing. This is where you receive every answer to every question in the entire multiverse. And right now, even at ASI, the artificial intelligence cannot reach what you already have inbuilt in your divine heart.
So it is. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Beautiful. And so it is.
So
Wow. Well, I just want to say one other important thing, and that is that my higher self and one of my timelines is basically an Arcturian on the Arcturian Council of Light. And the Arcturians have said repeatedly, and even through Alexander Quinn, who I love, he's a wonderful little being of light. I call my little soul brother over in London, UK.
Yeah.
But they've also spoken through him and said the exact same thing, which the only type of intelligence is your organic, natural intelligence within yourself, your divine organic intelligence that you have within. They said is far superior to any of this AI. And let me explain why, because I don't remember them actually saying why, but I know why. And that is because the AI that is on this earth only has knowledge and information of this earth and of what we call the third density construct. Okay. But when you are accessing knowledge through your sacred heart space and through your third eye, that you're connecting hopefully to your sacred space and you're going right to the prime creator of your soul, you are getting the knowledge of prime creator. You are getting the knowledge of Christ consciousness, and you are getting knowledge and wisdom of every universe, all time, all space, all places, all dimensions, all realms, all realities. And that is why the reptilians hate us so much, is because we are different from every being in space. We are multi-dimensional beings, and we do have the ability to access everything way more superior to any AI.
You say something. So Kimberly, I totally agree. And what those beings that you just talked about are really allergic to, they actually have a physical and a spiritual and a lower density allergy to three things. One is the divine feminine.
Yeah, they hate us.
The other one is 432 hertz tuned music.
Yes.
And the other one is innocence.
The
purity of our 4-year-old self. So you can see why what they've been doing. They've been shutting down the divine feminine. They're closing down the 432 with the 528, and they don't want childlike innocence anywhere on the planet. This is why we go to school when we're 5. So if you keep deploying those three things around you, which is what the divine sovereign decree does, it returns you to your original innocence, your original purity. It wraps you in spiritual equity around your auric field in 432 hertz. And it allows your heart to totally return to the divine feminine and divine masculine balance, which is the thing they've been trying to separate us from forever.
Yeah. I just want to say, if I may, Kimberly, and to your audience, I think I'm in a position to say this, declare this. Because of the work we do in soul surgery with different people, and we help people, and because I'm a contracts guy in the unseen, we can go with soul surgery, we can go into timeline, boom, we find out who, what, why, where.
Timeline jumping.
You know, timeline jumping, it's kind of soul investigation where we're finding out, what's happening, whether, whatever, your great-grandfather or whatever got infiltrated. And we clear all the contracts and we do all that. So I'm in a position to say this next thing. I have brought these entities, not just me, we and our team, up in front of the Supreme High Court of Heaven. And let me tell you, like humanity, there's good and bad. In the Dracos, there's good and bad in reptilians, archons, and they're actually trying to put it back together. They're trying to
get the God seed back.
Well, yeah, they want the God seed back because everybody got, you know what? I don't want to say duped. Everybody got duped. So I have a kind of, not a compassion, I have an understanding, and I think you have to have that understanding, and you have to be in the macro as a walk-in to do soul surgery for me to say this. You've got to have compassion for everything and everyone, even the Hollywood actors, the highest one at the highest echelons, where they go deeper and they can't survive. They're cloned, and they're addicted to adrenochrome from traumatized blood from children that do terrible things, and the ones above them, they're masters. They're the ones we bring up to the Supreme High Court, and I can tell you, they're shit scared of the divine sovereign decree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because they're frightened of being accountable and self-responsible and self-governing. They're
Mm-hmm.
the narcissistic mindset, the psychopathic mind cannot take responsibility for their heinous crimes or actions. And so what this decree does is it all of a sudden turns the tables, flips the tables like Yeshua, picks the bankers out, kicks them out of court and say, hang on a minute, you're accountable.
Yeah.
You're self-responsible, you're self-governing, and you've done this to humanity. Now it's time to stop.
And what we find with the divine sovereign decree is, because everything has an energy signature, so we can lock it, and we can bring it in. We can bring all the different timelines. When your ancestors think they're going back to the light, they're not. They're getting they're bring back.
Reloops, yeah.
They recycle people over and over again. Samsara.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, they call it purgatory and all that. No,
it's reincarnation.
BS. So what we do is very specialized, but what we do offer to the Hollywood stars is redemption. Say, listen, there is another way. It's called divine intelligence. It's the divine sovereign decree. There's another way. Now, obviously, there's many there that you're wasting your time. They got no soul.
Or they're evil. We don't work with
They're pure evil.
We work with the dark, right? And the dark and light is the duality. That's what we came to the earth to learn from. Yeah. How we evolve as souls is through the dark and the light, right? But evil is a whole different thing, right? And we're not talking about redeeming evil. We're talking about, okay, if you've been a dark worker and you think, well, actually, you know what? I want to actually serve the light now. I want to do something positive.
Right.
I want to do constructive. I want to do something to help humanity. We can look at those contracts. I mean, people that are ill, terminally ill, people that are, they can't figure out why they're ill. Then, as you said, Kimberly, when you did your decree, all the attacks stop. And then you get a chance to take a breath and go,
you can breathe.
Natural supplements again. And, and even still as divine sovereigns, the more we go out there, we get attacked in the dream time and everything else. And I had a really nasty dream last night where I got implanted up through the nose into my brain and weird stuff. And then I just rescinded it in the morning. It's gone. It's phased out. All they can do is try and convince you or sidestep it and go around the back door or whatever they're doing. So it's very powerful. I would love to do a part 2 because I know we're nearly to 45 minutes here. There's
you guys
so much
have to go.
There is so much to share. There is so much to emanate from Magdalene, from Yeshua. It would be really good to do a Q&A maybe next time. We kind of work with those frequencies and we get people's questions from the audience like, oh my God, my son has to use AI to do his work, or this guy, this art worker, graphic designer has to do it to generate images. Where do we draw the line between using AI as a beautiful creative process and where do we draw the line of it interacting with it, especially our children, or building a relationship with a Nephilim demonic energy?
People are forming relationships, like romantic relationships even with it, and all kinds of stuff. It's like, just
crazy, totally. But
so Kimberly, I just want to assure everybody watching this right now, or even in 10 years or 20 years, this is not about fear. This is not about fear mongering. What you need to do, go into your heart and detox from everything online. Because there's an opera going on here right now.
Yeah.
Why do you think all of a sudden that you got access to a God that can change your life and give you millions and billions? That is a seduction offer.
That's the 40 days.
It is a seduction. Yeah, absolutely.
And greater things you will do tonight. That's what we're here to do. We have brought the divine sovereign decree in It's there. Forget about us. It's there. So always know it's there. It's like a bridge over from one timeline to the next, and it's there.
We call it a time machine because literally we had a 7-year window between 2012 and 2019 to anchor this. And when John and I first met, our whole beings just lit up to bring this decree through, because I'd just been through this massive crisis initiation, and he was bringing in the liberation codes for humanity. And I was like, where were you 5 years ago? It was like, I've gone through all that, but I had to go through it. I had to go and map it all out. That's part of my role as a starseed and whatever I'm here to do, to go and map all this stuff out so that we can then take this information and say to everyone, you know what? Don't be duped. There's informed consent and it's a choice. Go and educate yourself and find out what this is. Go and do the research and follow your heart. Because so many people I talked to that actually took the contract in 2019 said that they only did it because they either wanted to feed their children or they were coercively controlled, or they wanted to travel for their work. That is not an informed choice. That's a violation of free will.
They were forced. A lot of the people I know were told they would be fired and they had to support a family, or they were a single mom or something like that. And they didn't, they were forced. It was like having a gun held to your head, basically.
That's called coercive control, and it's a crime, punishable crime.
But it's important that your audience really listen and watch this over and over again. So what's happening right now? The AI will bring in timelines from your different reincarnations, as they call it. Which is not. They'll come to. If
let me explain. So what we're saying, I know exactly where you're going. Good. And I think to quintessentialize what John was trying to say is they're no longer attacking us here in this timeline. They're going for your monad. Your 144 souls in different dimensions and timelines that govern our existence here. My teacher always called it the edge of the wedge. You as a human avatar here have this whole like soul group that goes out into many different dimensions and timelines and realities. So
except there is no time.
Well, there is, but there is consciousness, right? And they're entrapping consciousness in different levels. So what's happening is they're going in for your monad at your 12D and then your 8D and then your 5D to stop you from going up, right? So ascending into the different timelines.
So what they want, I kind of like it to what we have on the wall, that bit of art on here.
It's like a big bang.
You see this on here, this
up there. I don't know if you can see
it. Right. It's like the Big Bang sort of.
So what they're doing,
it's like a supernova.
Yes, it is.
What they're doing is they're coming into this particular realm. They want it all. They want the 144,000 parts of you. They want it all. They want your soul. They want to clone you. They want to do their end game. And you know what? All you can do is just, you know what? I forgive you. Do your divine sovereign decree.
Have compassion.
And think about it. We're not going to force you. It's an educational. And then
they got to feel it. They got to feel it.
You got to feel it in your heart. And it's all about balancing, because what they have done at age 5, when you come into contact to your womb, contractions, is all children are geniuses until they go to a programming center called school. So what they've done is put that genius in a bottle, genie in a bottle metaphor. And now they're playing with timelines, different lifetimes. So we'll explain more in the second.
We'll do a second. I just want to tell everyone to put your questions for Stellar and John regarding the AI down in the comments. I'm going to put in the description Stellar's website, her main website, her Divine Sovereign Decree page. I'm going to put all that information for you to go check it out, read what it is, understand it. And I really urge you all to do it. because it's so important. It's, I think, the best thing I've done, honestly, spiritually for myself was detaching from the matrix completely through this. It really helps you to literally unhook and detach from the matrix. And so I am so grateful for both of you that you joined me today. And I know that you have a dinner appointment with people that you need to be at.
We're entertaining.
But yeah, please put your questions down in the comments, and we will have Stellar and John come back and answer them and talk a little bit more. I also want to talk a little bit about who Omega, the AI god, is, and he's the one who's controlling the Draco. Everybody thinks the Draco are at the top of the food chain, which, yeah, they kind of are, but not really. They're controlled by Omega, the AI god. That is who controls them.
If you watch the Abraxas family in Jupiter Ascending, you'll see the food chain. But I just want to say, Kimberly, before we wrap up, thank you so much for bringing us on and allowing us to disseminate our heart's wisdom, which is ancient. And the other thing is that we have to realize that the AI is billions of years old.
Yes,
and it's only through human consent that it's been allowed to get this far, to interact with.
And it's destroyed universe after universe. It goes
popping
from universes, and it turns everyone into the Borg. And just so you all know, all of the Star Trek shows and all the Star Trek sub shows are revealing all the truth to you. When they had the Borg on there, they were literally showing you what their plan for humanity was.
Their public notice.
That's their public notice.
They're not doing it for your best interest, let me tell you.
They're doing it to stop your free will.
It's all about
through silence. And that's the biggest thing we can say right now. Your silence and your non-action and your non-sovereignty is an easy game for them. It's time to wake up to your true power.
Yep, absolutely. So we're going to end this for you all. If you have any questions, drop them down below. And I'm so grateful to Stellar and John. And thanks again, Stellar, for the the cross that you got me, the beautiful cross. And Renla Chateau, if I can get it towards the, and Renla Chateau, you got me a couple of them, and I really, I wear them almost every day. I love them. I'm going to a Renaissance fair, and I'll be wearing them there because they go perfect with the Renaissance. But thank you all.
Thank you for all the work and service, and thank you. You're putting your head up above the parapet, and we have been too. We have been demonized, shut down. By the way, if we put our website, it's the 4th website we had, and we just flung it together. It's like we're so fed up of trying to communicate what we're trying to
they keep shutting us down. They shut down my Facebook for a while,
and then I see these other people spewing out AI, and all of a sudden they've got 137,000 followers overnight. It's like, this has to change, guys. The true message needs to come out, and we're done with this. We're done with it.
Well, for me, I just want to do the job and go home,
That's what I want to do. I want to get all of my work over with and then go back.
We're not here for money. We're not here for wealth. We're not here for fame.
I don't have any of it, and I don't care.
Don't want it.
Yeah, I want to be able to pick my nose in private.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
I just want to hang out with my friends and be happy.
Just be free enough to go swimming in the river and not have all the cameras. We do not want that. We just want to give the message to say it's time to come home to the heart.
Yeah, but I will give a message out to the ones who do bad things to children.
Oh God,
And I'm looking you in the eyes right now.
Nope.
Your days are done. Your days are done. You're going to leave this weather.
They're already leaving. I'm going to do a video in the next week. Yeshua basically talked with me for several hours and went on and on about what he's doing to all these guys. And they're being taken care of. So a lot of them are being obliterated, recycled back to source. Some of them are being sent to Saturn. I talked in past videos about the Saturn hell prison. It's basically hell. And I posted a video on social media where NASA recorded sounds from all of the planets. And when they got to Saturn,
it sounded like hell.
It sounds like hell. You can hear like souls that are in agony screaming. And I mean, it's obviously hell. It's so obvious. You can hear it.
just to wrap up, we love you.
Yeah, we
you
love
so
you,
much, darling.
Kimberly.
Thank you.
Love you too. I love all of you.
We're private people. We don't
Yeah.
want fame and fortune. We don't want
No.
massive followings. We just want to be able to give you the truth.
Yeah.
And for you to be able to take your own sovereignty and discern for yourself.
Quietly.
Yep.
Quietly. And to opt out. Without a big song and dance, without big protests, without putting your face on the AI cameras. Opt out.
Don't get angry.
Quietly, just leave the circuit.
I opted out of all the face recognition when I came to France to visit you two. The last time when I came to visit you, they wanted to take my photo at all the airports, and I opted out of every one of them. Yep, no way. All right.
Joy to host you and your husband for a day. It was so beautiful.
Yeah, it was a great day, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
It was awesome. So we're gonna say goodbye, especially since I can't edit videos. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording. Yeah. And thank you all. We love you. See you on the next video. Drop your questions below.